Chag Sameach, everyone. We are Chol HaMoed Sukkos. Wanted to share a few thoughts short before Shabbos, Chol HaMoed. Things that I think are very important and reflect the essence of what Sukkot is, at least for me. And I look this year specifically to the Chag HaSukkot as the strive to shake our emotion, to reconnect to our emotion, to indulge almost in our emotion. We could almost say that the thing that makes us the most human is our emotions. Animals have some type of emotions, but very different than ours. We are almost imprisoned or liberated through our emotions. This is what gives us the desire to live or die. Everything we do is going to be based on the feeling that we get, the choices we make. So in many ways, it's almost as if to say we are here in this world to master our emotions. God created the world in 6 days. And we know in the spheres tree, the 6 lower spheres from Chesed to Yesod all correspond to the emotional energies, powers that God used to create the world. They connect to the human body, which is from the torso till the sexual organ. Those are the part of us that makes us very human, and in this world especially, to which in many ways Adam brought us down. Our emotions, if we could say so, before the Chet of Adam Rishon were very intellectual emotions. I love you from understanding you. I love you. I feel connected to God from the understanding that we're one. And it's as if Adam said, I want das. I want to bring my keser down to my heart, to lower, meaning I want to experience this intellectual connection on an emotional level. And then even more lower in my physical body. I want my body to feel my emotions. Makes it more tangible, more physical. So, however, we see the challenge. We see how we suffer so much from our emotions. Today, almost everybody needs trauma therapy. We are all struggling with how to be happy, how to be at peace, not stressed, how to love properly, how not to be scared. So a lot of people are sad and have low self-esteem. This is what Sukkot is telling you. You want to be a warrior in this world, you want to be successful, you got to shake those emotions. So we have the lulav and the adasa and the aravos. How many are those? 1 lulav, 3 hadasa, and 2 aravos, which is a total of 6. Those 6 represents the 6 emotions, the 6 lower spheres. And what do? We take those and we join it to our esrog. Why do we do that? We're saying that I want to take all the emotions that I have and unite them with my body, so that there's a unity between my body and emotions, between my 6 spheres and Malchus, which represent more the body. The 6 spheres in many ways represents the male energy, taking the chesed and all the different aspects of emotions, and he needs to use this potential, all those emotions and this energy, and use all of them, gather all of them, like in the Spheros tree, and bring them to one woman, bring them to, first in one's body, to unify my soul, my ruach, the part of the soul, the second level of the soul called ruach. Right? There's nefesh, ruach, neshama. Neshama corresponds to the head. The ruach mostly corresponds to mostly my emotions. The ruach, you have the vav in the middle. And we are connecting it to the nefesh in a way, to my body, to my esrog, to my female self. I try to unify myself on my male and my female. That's why it's the men mostly who have that mitzvah, the oraisa, to shake this, because it's men's duty to learn to take all his energy, to take all his emotions, and give it to his wife, and to give it to that one person that will anchor him, that will balance him, that will unify him, all his emotion, that will be the recipient for all those emotions that are meant to be directed and given. So the Sukkah is a bit like that marriage with Hashem, that Sheva Brachot, that chuppah, temporary chuppah, and we are celebrating the fact that we're emotional. In the world we live today, a lot of people look at emotions as the enemy. Men shouldn't cry. Women should be, strong like men, or, strong in a, say, like mentally like men, as smart as men. Men should, not show too much their emotion because they have to be, relied on. And we see that it's that's not the healthy way. The healthy way is for both men and women to be emotional, to learn to balance the male energy and female energy, the emotions with the physical, with the world, and learn to wave that, learn to dance with it, and to balance it. Interestingly, there's a Professor Paul Ekman, you can check it online. He came up not in the past few years with a system of emotion, and he says actually there are 6 universal international emotions, 6 basic emotions that everybody has, and he calls them joy, anger, fear, happiness, surprise, and I forgot the 6th one, disgust. I think I got all of them. So interestingly, that even on a psychological level, there is that concept of having those 6 basic emotion, universal. And I think it connects completely with what we're talking about, with those 6 species that we're trying to unify, right? We bound them together. We try to create the Etz HaChaim. Etz HaChaim, a tree of life, which represents man, which represents the Spheros, being able to balance all our energies, all our emotions, to be able to dance with it in the world. And that's why we come on Simcha Torah, the day after Sukkot, the last day of Sukkot, and the day after Sukkot, and the 8th day, where we learn we can transcend our emotion. We can use our emotion to transcend. The 8th is transcending the cycle, going lemala min hateva, That's why you need a man and a woman to really connect to Hashem on the highest level, that male and female energy. And we dance, we take all those emotions, and I dance with my emotions, with my chesed, with Abraham, I dance with Yitzchak, with my gvura, I dance with Yaakov, with my tiferes, my balance, with all my heart, and dance with my netzach, Moshe, Aaron, gratitude, Yosef, and David. David was able to take all that. David is known to have danced crazy to the point of almost humiliating himself in public for dancing like he was, like a child, like a young man full of love and energy. We need to dance. You need to be excited. You need to be you need to have that, all those emotions alive in you. That pushes you to dance. Dancing is a revelation of all your emotions you have in you. So that's the Simcha Torah. That's when we dance and we understand the source comes from the Torah that teaches us how to dance, how to use those energies, those emotions in this world. And I want to come back to one more thing. We know Sukkot is time of imagination, festival imagination. We imagine our branches. Really what is pushing us to do on Sukkot is to go back to our childhood. You remember when you were a child, you played with a doll, or you played with branches, sticks, and imagine your stick is a sword, and you imagine that you are a superhero, and you imagine, that you're fighting evil in the world, darkness, Darth Vader, Voldemort, whatever. You're like Harry Potter with his stick, with his lulav. That's Harry Potter's lulav. And you're a wizard. Sukkot pushes us to go back in our childhood, to reconnect to that part of us that was free of imagining, because as we grew up, we kind of block the imagination of the child. The child is nothing more emotional than a child. The child feels the most. And we try to gather all the parts of us, all the children, all the 4 types of Jews represented by the 4 types of species. The one that smells good, the one that doesn't smell good, the one that tastes, doesn't taste. All the children, the 4 children of us, the children of the Seder, the 4 children of the Seder. And we try to bind them all together. And we can bind all those Jews together. We bind Yud Ke Vav Ke, the 4 letters. And we're saying, I can be a child again. I can love my child. I can love myself. I can love others. Ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. You want to love someone else. You want to be bound with them. You need to have true love for your inner child. There's a lot of therapy of our inner child, which is very powerful. We need to go back in our childhood and see where we got hurt, why we became angry people, sad people, stressed people. And heal yourself. Heal yourself by dancing. By dancing that I'm going to take care of that child in me. The one that is sad, that is suffering, that is stressed, that is pain, that's had some type of trauma. I'm going to take care of you. I love you. And so does God. And that's why we need that imagination. We need to be able to imagine ourselves as that child that was innocent and good and pure. There's a part of you that is completely good and pure, that soul, that chelek Eloka mimal. When you were a child, you were just lovable and loved, and you were a pure, good person. And then we go through life and we become adults and we get hurt and we create boundaries and fences, and it's much harder to be happy. So I invite you all during this Shabbos, Chol HaMoed, and the last day of Sukkot, Hoshana Rabbah, because it was King David That's when the dancing begins fully. We take all our emotions and we connect them all together and celebrate humanity, our human vulnerability, who we are, that we're filled with emotion, and that's great. Yes, we hurt ourselves, yes, we hurt others, yes, we fall, but that's being a human being. We don't want to be an angel who just does shlichus, who just does what he's commanded to. That's purely almost intellectual. We want to be able to feel what we do. And in this way, we can fix Adam HaRishon sin. Go back to Gan Eden, because we have elevated, rearranged our emotions, accepted our body, accepted ourselves fully, accept every Jew, accept every human being on earth, accept the physical, the emotional, and then we can do that. We can be completely synchronized with the sphere of 3. We can synchronize with our mind and with our soul, and our soul can marry our body, and nefesh, ruach, neshama becomes all aligned, and we can connect to our chaya and yechida. So God willing, we should be able to create that harmony, that balance, that love that we are all wanting so much. That's all we want, to have true love. If you have true love, you don't need anything else. Anything else matters. Nothing else matters. That's what that 8th day, Shmini Atzeres, that's one extra day. Hashem wants to tell you, you know how much I love you. I love you in a way that is unique. In true love, deeper than any other love. We are staying one more day with Hashem, so to speak, before we go into the world and try to live it in our everyday life, in the winter that is coming, in the darkness, the long nights that are coming. We're trying to carry that with us in the world. So it's so exciting. I think excitement was one of the 6 basic emotions also, if I remember. Anyway, check it out. The 6, I will post it also. But I wish you all a Chag Sameach, good Shabbos, and Simcha Torah, full of simcha, full of emotions. Bring emotions out. Release yourself. Feel, let go, release your anger, your fear, your sadness, and try to connect to the positivity that exists. You deserve to be loved. We all deserve to be loved. And if we do that right, and we finally will be able to love everyone. Love you all. Chag Sameach.